Hey guys, Brandon Johnson here again, and thanks for joining me. Today we're looking at that classic Tony Rice tune, Old Train. We're actually going to look at the intro for this, which is also the outro. In between are the lyrics and the solos, and then he plays, Tony, he just plays the outro lick pretty much the same way he does as the intro. Now I had to look at a couple different versions of this song to find what capo they had it on, because if you listen to the recording, it's actually not in a standard tuning. It's not in 440. Because they probably just tuned up to each other while they were in the studio and just went from there. But I did see a version of Tony Rice playing it and a version of Wyatt Rice playing it, and they both had the capo on the 3rd fret. So we're going to play this out of capo 3, out of the D position, which makes it in the key of F. So I hope you enjoy this classic Tony lick, and let's check it out. Okay, let's talk about Old Train. So when we look at this first measure here, you'll see a pickup at the beginning, and then going into the first measure. And it's going to be played on a D. And actually the beginning of this lick is kind of centered around this D major chord shape here. And we're capoed 3, so this is going to put the song in the key of F. And we're playing around this D chord shape. And we're going to start all the way up here on the 5th fret high E on a downstroke. I like to play this with my little finger. And then we're going to come down to this 3rd fret high E, and we're going to do a pull off there to the 2nd fret. So it's going to be 5th fret, and then we're going to play an upstroke on the 3rd fret high E, and then we're going to do a pull off. Okay, and we're still kind of in this D chord shape for those first 3 notes. And then we're going to go there with our middle finger. So we're going to go to the 3rd fret B. And then we're going to go to the G string 2nd fret. And right off the bat there, we've played all 3 notes of this open D chord. It's kind of a tough move there because we're moving over 3 different strings and 5 different frets. Then we're going to go there, so we're on the D string 4th fret with our ring finger. And then we're going to go there. Of course, that's another note out of the D open D chord. Okay, and that 3rd fret B is going to be the beginning of the first measure. So really the pickup notes are just going to be this. Okay, so that's the pickup, and the first measure is going to start on that 3rd fret B. And that 3rd fret B, we're actually going to hold that out. So we're going to hold that for 2 quarter notes. So there's a rest there. Okay, and that rest kind of gets us into position to play over the C chord. So if you look at measure number 1, the chords that we're playing are D for 2 quarter notes, and then C for 2 quarter notes over that first measure. So after we hit that 3rd fret B over that D chord, we're going to get ourselves into position to play the lead line over the C chord. And again, like we did in the pickup, we're going to be starting on the 5th fret high E. Except this time I like to play this with my ring finger to start. So we're going to play 5th fret high E and a downstroke. And the remainder of this measure is going to be alternating picking. So we're starting on this downstroke, and it's going to alternate until we get to the end of this measure. So we're starting with our ring finger on the 5th fret high E, and then we're going to go down to the 3rd fret high E. And then with our middle finger, we're going to place it on the 4th fret B to open. So that's kind of a tough move there, but we're playing 5th fret high E to 3rd fret, and then we're placing our middle finger on that 4th fret B string to open E. then from here, we're going to move all the way down to the first fret with our index finger, and we're going to land on the first fret B. Okay, so you actually kind of have to slide down a few frets there. And when you play that open E, that open high E, that's going to give you a second to actually move back down to the first fret and place your index finger on that B string first fret. Okay, and once we land on that B string first fret, that's going to be kind of our anchor point for the remainder of this measure. So we're going to anchor our finger there on that B string first fret, and then we're going to begin kind of a descending line right here. So the entire descending line is going to be played with your middle finger. So again, we're anchored here on our B string first fret, and we're coming out of this. And then we're going to start this descending line. So it's going to be 2nd fret G to open, and then 2nd fret D to open, to 2nd fret A. We're going to land on that 2nd fret A on an upstroke. Okay, let's play measure number 1, start to finish, including the pickup. Okay, so remember, we're going to start on that 5th fret high E with our little finger. We're going to start this pickup on the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. One, two, 3. One, two, 3. Okay, let's take a look at measure number 2 now. So when we look at measure number 2, we're playing a G chord for the first 2 quarter notes, and then we're playing an A chord for the second 2 quarter notes. Okay, so what we're going to do when we start on this G chord, we're going to land on the 3rd fret E, which is the beginning of our G chord, and then we're going to play kind of an ascending line here. So we're going to play 3rd fret E to open A, 2nd fret A to 4th fret A. And we're just moving up this G major scale. Then we're going 2nd fret D to open, and then we're going 3rd fret to 4th fret on the low A. Then you'll see that open A there, and that's going to start our A chord. So the first note of each of these chords is going to be the first note of the lead part, right? So the 3rd fret low E is going to be the first note of a G chord. And the open A, of course, is going to be the first note of the A chord. And then once we hit that open A, kind of a similar movement to what we're playing over the G chord. really sticking closely to the chords here when we're playing these notes. All right, now let's play measure number 2, start to finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Okay, let's play measures 1 and 2 together, including the pickup. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Okay, let's look at measure number 3 now. So measure number 3, if you've played Blue Railroad Train, which is another Tony Rice classic, you'll recognize this pattern here. And he uses this a lot when he's playing in the key of D. It's kind of a D pentatonic kind of a lick here. But basically this is going to start on the open D. And measure number 3 has the same chords as measure number 2. So we're playing a G chord over the first 2 quarter notes. And then we're playing an A chord over the second 2 quarter notes. And what we're going to do on this one, instead of starting like we did in measure number 2 on the 3rd fret low E, which is in the G chord shape, we're going to start on this open D, which is also in the G chord shape. And it's also in the key of D, which we're in, so it works really well. But we're going to start on a downstroke on this open D. And then you'll see there's another downstroke on the 5th fret G. And this is where that familiar lick that you may or may not have heard will start. So what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of position our fingers like this, and we're going to play the 5th fret G with our little finger and the 2nd fret G with our index finger. So it's actually a 4 fret and a 4 finger stretch here. Okay, so it's 2 downstrokes. It's a downstroke on the open D, and then a downstroke on the 5th fret G, followed by an upstroke. And then we're going to the 5th fret D. And you'll see that slide there from the 3rd to the 4th fret on the D string to open. Then we're going to the 3rd fret A to open D, and then open A to 2nd fret A. And then we're going to finish it off with a cool D run here. And it's going to start on the open A on an upstroke. Then it's going to go 3rd fret low E to 1st fret low E to 2nd fret low E. So that's kind of a weird move there. And actually, this is the part that took me longest when I was learning this song. Then we're going to land on that open D, measure number 4. You can also do a slide there from the 1st to the 2nd fret low E, or you can pick it. It's up to you. Okay, let's play measure number 3 now, start to finish, and we'll include measure number 4, which is just a D note at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. All right, now let's play the entire song with the pickup all the way through. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3.